Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Passing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Braylon Edwards here with the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Woodward Sports Network. If you didn't know, got the news today, Terry Blair, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, has passed away at the age of 71. Prayers goes out to his family. Look, Terry Blair did a lot of effed up stuff. It is what it is. I don't judge that human. He'll meet his maker. He'll figure that out. But the guy Hulk Hogan, 1987, Pontiac Silverdome, fell in love as a kid. You know how many ass whoopings I got for ripping up shirts just like this? Let me tell you something, brother. I want you to say your prayers, eat your vitamins. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? That's what it was, man. That's what it is. So we're gonna do one last shirt rip for Hulk Hogan. I don't care what you say about Terry Blair. First person that should come to mind when you talk about Rushmore, it should be none other than Hulkamaniac, Hulk Hogan. There it is, there it is.
That's the right guy to be showcasing that T-shirt and ripping it off. I'll tell you that. It's not a six-pack, man. That's a 12-pack. Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show. Holy crap. That was really well done. How many takes? How many takes of that?
It was 2 takes because I said shout out to his family as opposed to just prayers, and you don't want to say shout out to the family. So it was 2 takes, but I meant it. You want to talk about Hulk Hogan as we get ready to start the show. It's 2 individuals. It's Terry Blair, who said and did a lot of things like any other human. I don't condone it. I tapped out once.
We're all flawed.
We're all flawed. I tapped out once he started using the N-word and lied about it. He said, well, Lil Wayne and those guys that I hang around the club live, they use it, and I thought I could use it. The way in which how he used it was not like Lil Wayne, but I digress. The guy Hulk Hogan, you talking about the 80s. That's when I grew up. I was born in 83. I was at the Silverdome in 87 when he picked up Andre the Giant. Fast forward.
Boy.
When he created Hollywood Hogan. Now I'm in high school, so now Hulk Hogan's still around, and I'm still involved. Fast forward to I was 26. Now he's wrestling The Rock at WrestleMania 19, and it was one of the greatest underrated matches ever. So, look, he is a large part of who I became in terms of working out, in terms of vitamins, in terms of playing sports or thinking I could take the distance and take it all the way. So, yeah, it's sad when someone dies. I don't care who they were as a person. They're humans, have a family, and it sucks. But just speaking about Hulk Hogan, he is a lot to a lot of people. So, yeah, man, shout out one last time. I had to rip the shirt in honor of him, and, I'll never rip another shirt. I promise you that. But it's sad to see. I mean, he is an icon. When you think wrestling, Hulk Hogan's the first person that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Business would not be where WWE would not be where it was. Stone Cold's the biggest grosser, and he became number 1. But the first person you better always think about better be Hulk Hogan.
Gone at the age of 71. I was not into wrestling at all. You obviously were, and listen, any of the ladies in the chat will welcome you to split, rip a lot of different shirts.
Yeah.
But were you guys into wrestling?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I still
How big
watch
was
it
it
from
for
time
you?
to time.
Yeah.
I
still watch it.
Yeah, I still watch it from time to time, but it's still just as fun. I got back into it. I was blessed to be able to go. Bushman actually got me front row seats.
Shout out.
Because
Shout out
I
to
told
Bushman.
him, I got the job at JLB. I was like 26, and he's talking about WWE. I'm like, man, I'm not into that. It's like kid stuff. He's like, oh, you're not into it? All right, let's go to a show. And then he sucked me right back in. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. I got you.
Kool-Aid?
I absolutely loved it, man. Grew up at Grandy's house a lot, and she didn't have cable,
Shout
so
out
we
to
saw WWE. Was out in Inkster, right down the street from Devin Gardner's Inkster High School, man.
Okay.
And we watched WWE. We watched the Batman, and that's where I ironically got Batman on. Hulk, he was one of those guys. The Rock, Rikishi, all of those guys, man. It was wrestling meant a lot, and I got disconnected from it. But when they visited here, Detroit SummerSlam,
Yeah.
I actually went there. and it reignited everything. Now, yes, I am for Cody Rhodes. That is my guy. I am still getting back into wrestling, and
The American
you know, I'm
Nightmare.
looking to get my kids back into it.
Okay,
Man.
that's really cool. It really is. I mean, he would be on the. I hate this topic, and we're not going to do it. But he would be on the Mount Rushmore, right?
Well, if
wrestling.
if there's no Hulk Hogan, there's no Rock, there's no Triple H who runs the business now.
Yeah,
there's no
there's
Stone
no
Cold
Stone
Steve
Cold,
Austin who took the
There's no
business,
John
took it to.
Cena.
There's no Cena who now is the
Is
wrestler.
there a Ric Flair?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Ric
Is
Flair,
there a
yes.
Roddy Piper?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
Because that's what somebody put in the chat here.
They were different territories. NWA was where NWA was where Ric Flair wrestled. He wrestled everywhere.
Okay.
And NWA was where he most was notorious for. There is, because he's older. He's older than Hogan. He did it first. He did it in his own way, and he didn't have to go to WWF. Vince McMahon came along, and he saw what the market was. It was territorial. Back when Hulk Hogan was AWA, it was territorial. And Vince saw the plan. Let me get the stars from all these territories, and we'll put them under my dad's umbrella, which was WWF back at the time.
WWF.
Wow.
Borrowed $1 million, bought it from his father, start poaching, which was illegal. And Vern Gagne, who Hogan used to wrestle for in the AWA territory in Minnesota, once he left after Hulk, he pretty much created Hulk, made Hulk, poured into Hulk, launched him, and then Hulk leaves and goes to Vince McMahon. Vern Gagne put a $100,000 hit on Hulk Hogan, saying anybody that goes to WWF and break his leg, I'll give you $100,000. Obviously, it never happened, but yeah, Hulk Hogan. I mean, it was major in the 80s.
That was a marketing genius, by the way.
I'm older than you guys, so
Not me.
Except you. So 80s, you're talking about cereals. Yes, I had the Hulk Hogan cereal, the Mr. T cereal. You're talking about the cartoons.
Yep.
Yes, I watched the 9 o'clock cartoons. With
The thermos.
100% the thermos.
Yeah.
But see, they don't even know what a thermos is these days.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But it had the thermos. He had the whole 9 yards. But he just kept reinventing himself.
That's incredible.
So he kept endearing himself to new fans. And
Yeah.
wrestling is one of those spaces, like you said. You said family. You can keep bringing your kids, and they bring their kids, and then wives.
Longest running live show of all time.
1989.
Is it really?
1989.
Wow.
I think it's Monday Night Raw specifically, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought The Simpsons was.
No, live show.
Live show. I'm
Live
sorry.
show.
Live show.
Live
okay.
show,
Yeah.
19.
We've had a difficult week. I mean, you've lost Ozzy Osbourne. You've lost Malcolm Jamal Warner.
They say they come in threes.
Man, you're
And-
right.
Isn't
right?
that it?
And now you've
Batman.
lost Hulk Hogan. Well, you know what? This is kind of reminds me. This is a kind of a crazy way to think of it, but Hulk Hogan, the marketing ability, him being on the movie with Rocky, which was a brilliant move.
Thunderlips is ready.
Yeah, it was really good.
Thunderlips.
It reminds me of a guy who stayed relevant for a long period of time, no matter what he did, just like the rock and roll band Kiss.
Yeah.
I don't care if you like rock or even
Gene
if you want to
Simmons?
call it heavy metal. I don't even know if it was. I mean, at a point it was, but then it turned a little softer, which bothered me, and that's why I stopped listening to them. But they
Oh, you don't like Nickelback?
Tell
Hold
us
on.
how you really feel,
You
man.
don't like Nickelback? You don't like Creed? You don't like Stain?
correct. Anyway,
I love it.
they were able to market themselves perhaps better than any other band. I would say band in general.
Yes.
In history.
Yes.
Because they had, when you said the thermos and the lunch boxes, they had everything associated with Kiss, and they took it all themselves.
Yeah.
They marketed that stuff themselves.
Shout out
really?
that's Gene Simmons.
Oh, yeah, it really
100%.
was
Yeah.
his project. And they, to this day, whether they perform or not, I don't even know if they're performing any longer.
Yeah.
I know Peter Criss isn't. I know Ace Frehley's not. Those guys are long gone. But anyway, those guys, I mean, they all are still making money off all that stuff. People still buy that stuff.
Well,
Boy,
the smartest thing about it is Vince.
Look it up. It's
I
unbelievable.
believe you.
The smartest thing is well, they don't own it. Gene Simmons, he licensed it by himself. He gives them a
That's
percentage.
right.
Yeah.
But they had a cartoon.
does.
They did.
Just like you were talking about.
Vince McMahon did a great job in terms of marketing that. He said, look, let me get personalities. Back in the day, AWA, NWA, the Florida territory with Dusty Rhodes, the WW, whatever that was, Devon Eriks. That whole story is a shame. But they were about real wrestling. Personalities, but real wrestling in the ring.
Yeah.
Vince was like, I don't really care so much about the wrestling. Look, I want this thing to be big. So he started creating the show and the characters and the glasses and the stories and the promos and the cheesy stuff, because that brings kids in. That brings people in. You can market that, put that on TV. And once you put something on TV, here comes the merch.
Yeah.
We talk about merch here. Side note, you better start buying some of this merch here at Woodward Sports because it's new and it's ready for the 2025 season. Right. But everybody.
Ricky right now is going, wait, is that my read? What's going on there?
Now, I was about to say, you know what? Get to that light goal. We'll give you guys some merch today from Braylon and Shep, man.
Say less.
Let's get to it.
But it was cool, and then as a kid, you start to see this. It's like, I want to be like this guy. He's talking about say your prayers, eat your vitamins. I mean, he's in shape. He's ripped up, and he's in the ring. And they did a great job with the antagonist and the protagonist. But what they call is the heel and the face. Good guys are faces, bad guys are heels.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like the exact opposite message you get nowadays on TV.
They selling everything else.
Everything else.
They selling everything else.
Pharmaceutical commercials are wild.
But it's interesting. Like when people pass, like yesterday when we start talking about Ozzy, you immediately start going into the places and Black Sabbath. And I know in your mind you were remembering, oh man, I remember going to this concert. I remember the first time I heard this song. I remember who I was with. It's kind of like the same thing for me with the Hulk Hogan situation. It's just a large part of our childhood, or my childhood. Like, it has these moments. I remember the first time I ripped a shirt. I remember the first butt whooping I got after ripping that shit. You know what I'm saying? At my grandmother's house. I remember when they used to have the wrestling, the pillows, pillow dolls. Like So I remember that stuff, the thermos. Yeah. I remember when they had the thumbs, and you put them on the thumb. So all this stuff is a part of my childhood. So when he dies, I immediately forget about the other stuff that happened later in life.
We're all flawed.
How it affected you.
100%.
Yeah. Like he was considered an early influencer. I mean, today they're known as influencers, right?
Yeah,
these people were influencers. Look at how much it influenced Braylon.
It's crazy too. I can point out. I remember watching No Holds Barred, which was Hulk Hogan's first movie with Zeus, Tiny Lister, who also is no longer here. Debo from Friday, in case you guys didn't know. But I remember watching this movie and falling in love as a kid. I was like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. 1988, Hulk Hogan's in it. You got Tiny playing this horrible villain. Oh, this is exciting. Movie was trash. Movie was horrible.
I love when you watch it.
I got older. I was like, I was really into this. They was saying, he was like, what's that smell? Okay. So, but it shows you how you can sell something.
It slapped when you were 10.
You can sell anything.
Yeah.
You can sell anything. So, look, at the end of the day, rest in peace.
It does. It really kind of, it takes you back to your childhood and it makes you sad a little bit. You want to remember all the positive things. But that happened to me with Dave Parker passing not too long ago. Yeah. So I remember watching Dave Parker play on a regular basis as often as Pittsburgh was good back then, as often as Pittsburgh was on. And I remember marveling at his ability to uncoil at the plate, have incredible power, and have a howitzer of an arm. And then when you start to like a guy like Dave Parker, then someone's like, you know what? I've always liked Willie Stargell, I guess. Oh, my gosh, Al Oliver's really good. Oh, Omar Moreno I really like. Phil Gardner's not a bad guy. I think I'll follow him a little bit. Suddenly one guy lays on you a little bit more than the next guy, and then you start to lean into another one, and then you're like, you know what? I am a fan of that team. I don't like We Are Family. It's getting a little old for me, but I love the fact that team was really good. I like the way they played. Wasn't a huge John Candelaria fan, but overall, Chuck Tanner in that group, I really liked. It started with one guy. And perhaps that's what happened with I was going to say the Incredible Hulk. It's not Hulk Hogan.
That's Lou Ferrigno.
It started with Hulk Hogan getting you into wrestling maybe a little bit.
100%. And the other thing, too, about the human versus the character, the personality, like, look, that information about Hulk, like, it got out. It got out. Yeah. Kind of like people were trying to talk about what's his name, John Gruden. Well, that information got out. It wasn't supposed to get out. It got out. Yeah. That got out, and then it changed the narrative of what it is. Like, how many actors do you love? How many musicians do you love? How many artists in general? How many people, politicians do you love that you just haven't heard that thing yet to turn you off? That you just haven't heard that thing in their life, or the thing that they don't like, or who they may be behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. Newsflash: these got people sweating. These are entertainers. I know, right? Yeah. But these are entertainers. Yeah. Like, unless you do something so egregious, Kevin Spacey, unless you do things like that, it's an entertainer. Like, I shouldn't want to be just like this person off face.
Thank you.
I should want to enjoy the wrestling and then go about my life. I should enjoy a movie, go about my life. You brought up music the other day. Yeah. I should be able to enjoy the music and go about my life. I don't have to get caught up into who that person is outside of that.
That's why I never like to meet celebrities, because most of the time, it ends bad, so I like to stay away from it. Whenever I meet artists or something like that, I'm good.
Well, what do you tell your kids and I hate to say this, because I think you're a great representative of the city and your school and the teams in which you played, but I tell my kids, don't idolize athletes. Yeah. Don't idolize entertainers. Don't idolize actors and actresses, please. Find somebody else, because more important than anything else, you don't know who they are. Like he just said, you don't know who they are. We're fortunate we get to know him, broken bread with him, talked with him, know what kind of person he is. If that's one thing afterwards, right? Yeah. I get it. I had a friend, unfortunately, they lost their child way too early. He was only 7 years old. Oh. They allowed him to wear one jersey with somebody else's name on the back. And it was Curtis Granderson.
Great man.
And the reason it was Curtis Granderson is because they were fortunate to get to know him a little bit.
Great man.
And I told them, I was close to the Tigers at the time, and they would ask me, what's he like? And I said, salt of the earth, as good a person as you could imagine. I can't say that I hang out with him, but in my conversations and people I know who know him, they vouch for him in this way. That's what they did. They let their little boy Timmy wear his name on their back. That was a big deal. And by the way, it has nothing to do with white, black, whatever. Okay, he's a little white kid wearing a black kid's shoe. Who cares? He didn't look at it like that. It's like my dad. When my dad told me about teams, I don't care what color they are. I care the color of the jersey. Yeah. If you're wearing Tigers white, you're wearing Red Wings white or Red Wings red white, that's who I root for. I don't root for it because it's Braylon Edwards and he's the black guy. I root for Braylon Edwards because he's wearing – well, I didn't like the Jets or the Browns, but you know what I'm saying.
Hey, speaking of the Jets.
But you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying.
That's the beautiful thing about sports.
It's supposed to be the beautiful thing about sports.
But
it's changed.
It's still it. Yeah, it's changed, but
it's changed a lot.
It's still there, Shep. There's still hope, Shep.
It's hope.
You got to have faith.
Believe.
It's hope, but what hurts to this point is the comment section. Like what hurts to that in terms about racism and still, it's the comment section, because the comment section creates the division and it keeps the division going. And you're talking about over 1 billion people on the daily talking about these things. Yeah, the comment section is what keeps things like that going. But here's a good one. Who is somebody that you got a chance to meet and ended up being somebody, because you were talking about never meet your idol? No. Who was someone that you met in the entertainment, pro ball, pro space, whatever, and you instantly was like, I wish I wouldn't have met that person? I know you got a couple. You've been in the business for a while.
Yeah, I can't say that it's been anybody bad. I mean, I've met people like Paul Newman, for example. I had a chance to interview Paul Newman, and he was a great actor. He was an owner of a race car at the Detroit Grand Prix. He was coming by on a little motor scooper, and I said, Mr. Newman, you got a chance for an interview? Not even thinking he would stop. He stops, turns around. Sure, kid. What do you need? Holy crap. And then the first stupid question that I had was about his salad dressing, because I was unprepared for it. That's why I'll never be unprepared again for anything. But he was very gracious, right? The surprise that I got, I've told you the story, the surprise I got with what's the kid's name in Cleveland that I talked about? He's a black musician. And I didn't know a word, a song he sang. Usher. Thank you. Was very, very cordial, and surprised me a little bit. So I don't want to say too many names, especially in Detroit sports.
Right, I got
you. Because I have met some guys. Randy Moss was a big disappointment, to be honest with you. Huge disappointment. Not that I wanted to meet him. I was just ready and excited to interview him because how great he was, and he's a complete jackass.
So it's funny you say that. I won't say too much, but last year
I won't say, Shep, I want you to tell me, but I'm not going to say too much.
No. Last year, Randy did Calvin's camp, and so we did together. It was Randy Moss, myself, Torrey Holt, Calvin. It was a really good group of wide receivers, and the kids weren't listening. Pissed me off. I yelled at them, but it's neither here nor there.
Oh, man.
I left.
Sean Lindstrom.
I walked. Yeah. Hold on. Yes, you know what? Because I have to tap into this space. When I was going to the Jerome Bettis camp when I was younger. Yeah. When I was going to the Jerome Bettis camp and going to the Pepper Johnson camp and going to the Herman Moore camp, like awesome. All you hear is all these kids is just doing other things. I'm like, do you realize the people here, the knowledge here that they're about to pour into you? Man. Like, y'all don't care. Y'all talking about jokes. But as a kid, I didn't care. All right, you guys don't want to do it. I'll take the information. Newsflash, I went 3rd overall because I paid attention. Right. So now as an adult, no. I don't have to be quiet. Like, hey, you. What's your name? Jack, get over here. You see who this is? Yeah. This is arguably the greatest receiver of all time. You see who this is? Yeah. This is arguably the greatest receiver of all time. You see who this is?
They need that.
He should have been in the Hall of Fame. And me, all
good
pro.
For you.
Hey, yes.
You should.
They gotta hear that though.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because obviously they're not hearing it at home.
But I left that camp and I got in my car because Randy's. Jerry's the best receiver of all time.
For sure.
Randy's my favorite receiver of all time. I think he's number 2. I left that camp like, damn. Because when we played against each other, it's like a quick nod, like respect. You know, you won, I won, whatever. It's a quick nod. But we had a chance to break and talk. B.J. Armstrong, who went to high school, walking distance from here. We were at the ESPYs in 2005. This is the year I got drafted. I was with my manager at the time, Hayes Groom. Shout out to HG4. And Hayes played at Brother Rice. Hayes broke B.J. Armstrong's assist record, but this is a big thing to Hayes. And we're taking a break in between intermission. We get stuck. Like, anybody knows about award shows, like if you miss that mark, they're not letting you back in until the next segment. So we're outside at the bar. BJ's at the bar, and we walk up. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's B.J. Armstrong, number 10 for the Bulls. I said, I'm going to go say something. I didn't even know he went to Brother Rice at the time.
But you knew he went to Iowa.
I did.
Yeah.
I knew that. So I go up to him. I said, hey, what's going on, BJ? And then Hayes, before I went, he said, hey, he went to Brother Rice. Oh, this is going to be great. Yeah. So I come up to him. I say, yo, BJ, what's going on? Braylon Edwards just got drafted this year. This is my best friend. He was my manager at the time. I said, Hayes Grooms. I said, he went to Brother Rice. And he broke your assist record. I said, this is great. Nice to get you. This is cool. Hey, man, hey, nice to meet you guys. And never looked back.
Oh, I hate
like,
that.
gave a quick acknowledgement. Hey. And it was just him at the bar by himself. He wasn't even on his phone. It was and it was no TV. There was a complete.
He just stared at bottles.
DICK move.
Wow.
Like,
He just stared at bottles.
He just started staring at
exactly.
bottles.
I just found that to be crazy to me.
That's wild.
But years later, it makes sense now from what I've heard. But yeah, that one kind of threw me. I'm like, we from the same town.
Yeah.
My man's trying to come up to you. He went to your high school.
You're both athletes. You're not a fanboy here.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. There is a difference. I'm glad you did that at the camp.
Yeah.
Because you get a chance to listen. In my business, that would have been like going to Ernie Harwell, listening to him talk, and then saying, I've had enough. I want to go over here and fiddle with this, that, or the other thing, right? It's disrespectful, but it's stupid too, right? I have gone and spoken to classes before, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You're taking your time. You're not getting paid for it. You're taking your time. You're going to talk to kids, and you're trying to impress upon them some important messages to help them to get to where they want to go, on the field and off the field. Yeah. You're trying to, give them some of your wisdom, what you've learned. Who wouldn't want to do that? How many times have you guys heard people talk about a career and say, well, you know what? Go talk to somebody who's done it and ask them what their path was. Yeah. And then see what you might be able to learn from that path. So I was at a high school one time in Warren, and these kids were on their phone. And I was there on my own accord,
That's
right?
all they care about.
So I literally I knew the teacher because I was doing a favor for him, and I said, I don't think these two are really into this. So could you have those two wait outside? Because it's really disrespectful for you to be on your phone while I'm talking.
They don't care, man.
But that's the way today is. How many times you go in a restaurant and you walk by somebody's family dinner and they're all on the phone?
Talk about it. Yeah. They just want to go viral. Kids today,
how brutal is that?
That's what they want. They don't want to have a job. They don't want a career. They just want to go viral.
Yeah, I don't want to paint everybody with a broad brush, but it sure seems like there's a lot of people like that. There's very little communication going on, right? I mean, we went to his house for dinner on Sunday. What did you notice? Here's what I noticed. First of all, some really easy listening music in the background.
Good food, great food.
Some great food. Absolutely.
Home cooked food.
Home cooked food. Right. Yeah. I mean, Ricky and Kool-Aid were both late, but that's to a side.
Hey, start the brothers out, man. Start the brothers out.
I'm never late. I always arrive at the exact time I wanted to.
And everybody was conversing. There was a conversation at every table. I was talking with some of the beautiful women at your table. I was talking with your dad's friends. Yeah. It didn't matter our age. It didn't matter the color of our skin. We had conversations. Yeah. Nobody was on their phone until we got to the main table and Braylon took out his phone. Everybody else. Hey,
man, I was showing pictures.
Everybody else was off their phones. It was unbelievably refreshing for me.
Call me out on that.
I love golf.
Side note.
I love golf.
Oh, I want to get. Actually, we need to get to that. We need to get to commercial break. But your wife did something I want to talk about. Side note, Jeff. I'm sorry. My best friend's in the chat. Shout out to Jeff Martin. He was like, yo, that's the Hogan. Because he bought that Hogan shirt that I ripped up at Hogan's shop, at Hogan's actual shop in Clearwater.
Oh, that's a real Hulk Hogan.
So it's a real shirt from his shop in Clearwater, Florida. So
the game warden's jersey.
I got caught up. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Luckily, I'll go online and get some of that merch, which probably is going to be outrageously priced right now. But speaking of golf,
Jeff is all pissed off because you ruined the whole thing.
And you were talking about experiences.
I sent him $40. He was like, "It's not about the money yet. It's like it was." So my bad, Jeff. We'll make it work.
That's great.
As you're talking about people we meet, just before we move on, I wanted people to at least see this one interaction because I know people who don't turn down. They were ecstatic. They were pumped up. I saw it on social media later. All of them posted about it. Shout out to Bray. They're still posting. I ain't got text and stuff. So I just want to make sure people saw that. Because you are a man of your word, especially when you're talking about these types of interactions. I've only seen you go and give
same here.
You know what I'm thinking?
It doesn't take much, does
it?
It really does not take much. It's a handshake, a smile, and a picture. And how long does that last?
You know what's probably crazy? Because they're all going to go play football, which I saw a group of kids playing football at the park the other day. Made me so happy.
Made me feel good, right?
No helmets, nothing. They had the coats for the end zones. It was great.
There you go.
One of them, or all of them now, since they met you, are now going to go out there and beat Braylon Edwards on the field. You know? They're going to be, Braylon Edwards.
Bring him back.
In the words of Ricky, that's what's up. That's pretty awesome.
But not just that, even the words that you shared with them, because you said it's about more than just the interaction, about how you can impact them. And I heard you, man. You was giving them different words of advice and things. I do think it's important
to
valuable,
highlight
that type of stuff.
It is incredibly valuable. They need that. Yeah.
Let me say this, and then we can do the Vin Johnson read wherever if you want to. But
you mean the one that's on our microphone?
Hey,
shout out to him. You see what it is. We mean what we say. We partner with people we enjoy the relationships, just business as well as friendships. But coaches, parents, like it's on you. Like these messages, those kids, you can tell they're kid. You can tell their coach. You can tell that their parents. You can tell that who's ever around them, grandma, whoever's around them is doing a tremendous job because the engagement was cool. Like they came up, they asked for pictures, they said thank you, they were enamored, they asked questions, they were polite questions, they were good questions, and they were cool, they were enjoying it. Nowadays, like you said, you see kids, they don't care about that. They're like, how many yards you have? You don't play now?
Right.
Like
what kind of car you drive?
Yeah. That part.
Yeah.
And it was good to see that. It was good to feel that energy. So that coach is doing a hell of a job. The kids whose name was Braylon, it was the coach's son.
Yeah, hell of a job there, and hell of a message for sure. We've got some messages here, including one from Ben Johnson, and then we'll stick with the Little League theme and an absolutely ridiculous decision that took place recently on the Little League baseball diamond. But first, this from Ben Johnson.
Look, man, justice, it just means different things to different people. To Ben Johnson, they want to get that for you. Justice, it's always worth the fight, man, and let Ben Johnson fight for you. Look, he's the fighter. It's Ben Johnson Law, VinFights.com. They want to fight for you. They're tough, they're tenacious, and they are trial lawyers. You know what I'm going to say next, so I don't even have to say it. They will win you the case no matter what. That's what Vin does, man. He's the man around town. You see the billboards, you see the other things. People talk about Vin because he will fight, and he wants to fight for you.
You're looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Make sure you check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. They are located at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book your visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or you can just scan that QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket. What'd you say?
Say that's what's up.
What?
That's what's up.
Massage Chair House is what's up, Shep. Now I'm gonna turn your mic back off. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation. We'll be right back.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. VenFights.com.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. And you guys, pay attention to what's on the screen. Make sure you go ahead and scan that QR code because these specials, they go quickly, and I want to make sure you guys can benefit because our sponsors are great. This month's specials include the 2025 Silverado, the 1500 Crew, lease it for $189 a month, and the 2026 Equinox LT, lease that for $209 a month. This offer ends August 10th, so get there quick. And what you guys doing in the morning? Yeah, I already know what you're doing in the morning. From 8 to 10, Monday through Friday, it's the Sean Believe in the Morning show with Maz. You guys got to be there. It's 2 of Detroit sports legends teaming up to bring you bold takes, big laughs, and unfiltered Detroit sports talk. Expect breaking news, guest interviews, interactive segments, and that classic Detroit fire. Grab your coffee and start your mornings with real Detroit sports radio, only on Woodward Sports Network, starting July 21st. And we back.
Get your butt up and watch the show too, man. Y'all know Maz. You guys know Maz. Like that's our
Support.
guy. Make sure you watch that show. He's here. He's kicking it. New morning show. Watch it. He's Sean Belize. They're gonna do their thing, man. Support Tom Mazaway. Support the network, man. 100%.
Good work for them. We appreciate them being teammates on our show for sure. The Braylon Edwards Show, Monday through Friday, 2 till 4.
We Shep.
Follow us all on all our socials. We were talking about, the Little League aspect of things and when we were all kids and parents' involvement and all. Did you see what happened? I think it was in New Jersey with a young man who hit a home run and did a bat flip. And then they originally, the home plate umpire, wanted to disallow the home run. Talked with officials, talked with other members, and they're like, no, you allow it. And then he has since been banned, the child.
Banned?
The little boy has been suspended. I'm not banned. That's unfair.
Suspended?
He's been suspended because of the bat flip. The father is now going to court, and he's going to miss a huge game for his team coming out. The father, and here it is right here, there's the home run.
First
straightaway center field.
Smoked it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
big bat flip.
That was a flip, boy.
Yeah, that was
a Batista flip.
Yeah, he tossed it high in the air.
Tossed it high.
Really good video. Whoever took it should be hired as a freelance cameraman for crying out loud.
Gotta be his mom or his older brother.
Yeah, and then I think he does a little bit of a dance here at the end. Okay, celebrations are part of sports these days.
I'm so glad the greedy is down there.
Yeah, they got pumped up, bro.
Yeah.
And
so he gets suspended because of what Little League Baseball
and
is all about. It's
NewJersey.com. I just want to make sure NewJersey.com.
NewJersey.com, and it's so that means what's going to happen is that his New Jersey championship game is going to play without him. This M.R. Rocco, or R could stand for Rocco. Anyway, his father is basically pretty upset, and understandably so. Due to the Little League rules, the decision meant that this young boy would have to sit out of his team Haddonfield's huge game against Amon-Ra on Thursday, which is tonight, something that they don't believe should happen. What's your take on the bat flip situation there and how you either curtail that or encourage that?
First of all, Haddonfield, every time I hear Haddonfield, I only think about one movie, and that's Michael Myers. That's the city he was killing Laurie Strode in. So
man.
Haddonfield.
I didn't know that.
Brandon, I'm like a movie guy.
Yeah, you are a movie guy.
But the only difference is this is New Jersey. Haddonfield and Michael Myers was Illinois, if I'm correct.
Yes, correct.
With that being said, I don't like this. It's not necessarily about him missing the championship game, which he and his team has worked hard to get there, and I definitely think he should play in that game. But they missed out on a teachable moment.
Right.
I think the moment when kids are this young, because these kids had to be like 12, 13, you look at the age, This is a moment in where the coach can come out after he flips the bat, and the coach will be waiting for him. Like, you tell all the kids, take y'all butts back in the dugout. Coach waits for him in the baseline right before he gets to home plate. As soon as he crosses home plate, he pulls him to the side, and he can have this conversation with him. This is not what we're here for. We're not here to flip the bat from home plate to first base. This is not the big show. This is not the MLB. You're not getting paid for it. This is where you teach the team game. This is where you bring the team game aspect into it. This is when you talk about the things, you know what I'm saying? So you could have had a conversation and could have had a good moment. Then the kid go in the locker room, the dugout, think about it, not do it again. Still has time to play in the game, the championship game.
What if the coach isn't there to do that? Then how do you teach him after that?
It's on the umpire then. These are the rules that you teach the umpire. These are the conversations before the season starts that the league, the coaches, you talk to the umpire.
That's good.
Hey, we're gonna put these things on you. You see a bat flip or something, we're not kicking kids out. Now, if you get 2 bat flips, I think if you get 2, 3, 4, you start getting.
Well, how many's enough? I guess would be the question. I agree with you. I think it's a wonderful teaching moment. The umpire could stop. Hey, everybody.
The umpire can stop it right there.
The umpire can tell every kid, hold on. No celebration yet.
Yeah.
He crosses home plate. Son, let me tell you something. I am supposed to suspend you, but I'm not going to. This is something that can't continue, all right? And I'm going to give you, and I'm going to bring the coach in, I'm going to give you a bit of a warning here. I have to write you up like a principal would write up a kid messing around in the halls and tell them, listen, if this happens again, this is not going to fly. You're going to be suspended. But tell me the kid knew the Little League rules. Hell no. I bet you the coach didn't know the Little League rules.
Coach don't know the rules.
No, absolutely not.
Also, too, what happens is you rob the kids of that conversation, which means you rob the kids of the chance to hear the news, process it, and then implement it the next time they come to bat, the next time they come to bat, the next game, the next season. But what you kind of create, now you create the angst and the rebellion.
That's
right. It's like, oh, okay, you want to suspend me? You know what? F you. F this league. And now at 13, this becomes a mindset. 14, I come back on the season, and now this is what I'm standing on. By the time 14, you're in high school. 15, you're sophomore. Now you're really into the flow. Nah, I'm good on these rules. They don't care anyway. All I'm doing is I'm here to hit jacks.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of create.
Yeah. And what you get is you get a lot of parents on that team who are going, Little League, can you imagine? They're at the family barbecue. Did you see what happened to MR? Let me tell you about this. It's one big negative cycle is what happens. The problem that goes a little bit deeper, though, because what we have is they're watching people do the same stuff. So they're all doing it, right? We think that what Justin Jefferson does, the gritty? The gritty, okay.
Yeah. I'm so glad that's over with.
I almost said the ditty. But the gritty, right? So the gritty.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, okay. So it's completely different now.
You have too many clothes on.
Especially after the last month or so. But seriously, that's what all these kids are doing. My nephews are like 5 and 6, and they do that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And that's what's so. This kid sees the bat flip. He sees major leaguers do it.
Yeah.
He sees college kids do it.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do?
Look, you said major leaguers. Look, one of my favorites. I gotta play this one here. One of my favorites, Carlos Guillen, Jared Weaver. That was one of my favorites
right now because of this. Was talking with the home plate umpire. Carlos Guillen watched the home run and Weaver did not appreciate it. He had some words for Carlos Guillen and the home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
Well, Carlos Guillen got thrown at too.
Yeah, and he got out there and had a very lengthy conversation with Jared Weaver.
It was crazy, but
after that conversation, he determined I need to warn both of these teams right now.
And then to skip up the first baseline.
Okay, so it's great,
the majors are doing it.
Yeah, so it's great, but when the kids see that, how do you not emulate? Like, these kids are watching all these games, whether it be baseball or Braylon Edwards playing wide receiver, saying, you know what, hey, I want to be him, so I'm going to act like him. I used to go to Tiger Stadium all the time, and my dad say, just watch Alan Trammell, because I was a shortstop. Watch Alan Trammell, watch everything. He's the only guy I watched a lot of times when I went to games. And so I tried to mimic all the things that he does. That's what these kids are doing.
It's true, and that's why. Oh no, Ricky, go ahead.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Nothing was worse than the And One mixtape era. Do you remember that?
Oh, you're
The
right.
And One mixtape era forever changed. It was like Steph Curry now with the 3. I feel like everybody wanted handles, putting it between the shirt, all types of carries, all types of whistles in games. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, 100%. And it taught a lot of kids
NBA.
now how to play the game, and taught the kids a lot of nuances on things that were illegal necessarily in the league.
Straight
And when
up
you were
illegal.
bringing that to when you were trying to implement that in college, whistle. The only guy that did it in the NBA at the time was Rayford Austin, a.k.a. Skip to my Lou, and even he tapped out of it because he wouldn't have been able to last in Houston and Orlando if he would have played that way. Now, they're really playing N1 rules if you pay attention. Like the way in which they cross and dribble and do all like the new it's N1 stuff.
You know what?
Yeah.
That was a good pull by you too, Ricky.
That was
I
a hell of a
remember
pull.
we had the tapes. We were every way we could consume
used to
it
get them
and
in Foot
practice
Locker.
those moves. We were doing it, bro.
Yeah.
You used to get the tapes from Foot Locker.
Yeah.
My brother, stay with him.
N1.
So you've got those teaching moments. My hope is, and I understand where the dad is coming from, wanting to go to court immediately. It might be a little too reactional, too emotional, but who am I to say how he should feel? My hope is that he's also taught his son a moment. My hope is, like you said, I hope it's not get in the car. You know what? Screw these people. You know what? You were in the right. Do whatever the hell you. I hope it's a teaching moment, son. Listen, I'm going to stick up for you, but I want you to know something. Blah 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 blah. Right? It's kind of like I mean, my kids oftentimes, if they were upset at a coach, I would say to them, "You go talk to the coach."
Yeah,
I'm not
100%.
fighting your freaking battles.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Don't make it right.
Now it depends on the age.
Stan Edwards over there.
Right, but I'm not fighting. You have a communication ability. Go talk to them. Take them off to the side after practice, whatever. Right? That's okay. And kids should be able to take that. You're used to being chewed out on a regular basis on the practice field. It made you who you are. Did you crumble?
But
No.
But your first conversation is what happened though. Is my dad. That's why I said it sound like Stan Edwards. Like my dad, he was that guy. Like my dad was like, hey, look, this is what it is. This is what we're not gonna do. This is what you can't do. You want to do this? You had a conversation. You know how many times I called him my freshman year? Hey, you got to talk to Lloyd. Like Lloyd is up here on some BS. I don't understand what's going on. You got to talk to him. You're 18. You don't live here. You ain't in this house. You go talk to him.
Yeah, good
He's
for
your
him.
coach now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
good
to
for
your
him.
point. Yeah, but you got to hit him with the compliment sandwich. Compliment sandwich always works. You hit him with the first one, just a cool little surface. Hey, look, son, he blasted that ball. That was a bomb.
Yeah.
Bombs away. Then hit him with the meat and potatoes. You can't do that backflip stuff. Like, this is not what we're going to do. This is not what we're creating. You hit him hard in the meat and potatoes, and then you finish like, it was a nice little celebration at the end. You know, but you have to have that conversation with the kid so that he knows that it's not okay.
I
That's why had to do a
100%
couple-
agree with what you guys are saying right now. I got up on the screen as well. The statement from the father as to why he's trying to file this so quickly, so he can get him reinstated for the championship game.
Yeah, that's what he said,
But that's why I do hope that at least he's making sure, hey, bro, this is what the deal is, because the father did some research and he submitted some things that showed that it's a little bit of inconsistency because a lot of the other kids have done way more egregious things, and the social media platforms
I was just thinking
of
that.
them have actually glorified it, have put out there and put the, oh, look at this kid, hit the home run, do the gritty. For some specific reason, though, this kid.
Well, the gritty's
he's
not
actually
the
getting
problem.
popped
The
up.
problem was the bad flip,
Yeah, I
how
was just
high he
thinking that.
threw
They
it.
said
That-
safety concerns.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
considered
they
but I
portion.
wonder
yeah,
if
so the
also-
gritty doesn't create any safety concerns, but
Yeah.
throwing the bat that high might. If some kid, we've got to look at it in a couple of different ways. I think we always look at it like, oh my God, you're taking the fun out of things.
No.
If there's a kid who knows it's a home run right away, and he runs out, it's not like all the kids are wearing helmets, and he runs out to be part of the celebration and isn't paying attention, he's watching and that ball goes up in the air and he gets hit.
That's right, yeah.
Who's responsible?
Right.
Little League.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
So as much as we think they're being curmudgeons, to your point, there is a learning lesson here, and that's part of it. Now, he needs to learn the lesson, but he needs to be told the lesson first.
Bringing this message into the now, into the 2025, and what we've been talking about, he's also tripping trying to get his son. This is NIL. Like, this kid's 13 years old, and people are looking like, oh, he's 13.
Yeah.
So listen, my friend that I played with at University of Michigan, Chris Perry is now working out in L.A. He's working in the space of insurance. Lloyd's of London was the insurance policy that college players got their junior year, maybe senior year, to insure. All right, cool. If I know I'm going top 5 and something happens, you know what, I'm covered. They can do a projection, I will get paid, and then still be somewhat good if I get injured. They have now extended that to high school. They now are extending it to 8th grade.
Boy.
So, like, legitimately, you can get Lloyds of London for 8th grade.
Crazy.
You can start getting paid in high school. So this kid is, think about it. If you're 13, you're a year away from being able to get paid. So that father is thinking, if my son gets in the championship game, my son goes yard a couple more times. Now it opens up the bank for what they can pay my 14, 13-year-old son and getting into high school. So I think that's why he's also rushing to the court, because it's business now.
It's a big
He don't care
business.
about just the championship. Oh, my son's going to win the championship.
That's a great
He
point.
wants some money in them pockets in a year or two to come.
Could you look at it from the Little League standpoint and say, there might be another kid who's looking for it. If he gets hit on the head and he's concussed, he loses the chance for NIL. I don't know.
True, 100%. Yeah, two things can be true.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's the crazy world. And when Chris told me that,
Who would have thought of that?
he said, "Hey, we've extended it." He said, "Braylon," he said, "Man, we insured a kid." This was 2 years ago at the 20-year reunion of the Big Ten championship in 2003. And I was talking to him, and he said, "Bray, man, it's crazy." He said, like, we legitimately just insured a kid that's 15 years old. He said the kid had an average freshman year, and we just insured him for up to $225, something it was.
For injury.
Yeah.
In case he gets injured.
Yeah.
But the parents are paying on that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
They believe in their kid.
Well, I mean, we all think our kids are going to be the next Braylon Edwards, and it's just not happening,
but you
right?
know what those are called? Those are called promissory notes.
Yeah.
If you know anything about business finance, promissory notes.
You must have seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and I bet you people ask you that quite a bit too. I had a kid one time. His parents. He was playing football with my oldest son on their high school team, and they were good. They made the state semifinals, and this kid was a good player, good tackler, linebacker. And the dad said, "Hey, Shep, you covered college football. Where do you think my son could play?" And I said, "You don't want me to answer that." And he said, "Yes, I do." And I said, "No, you don't." I said, I call the MAC and some Big Ten. And he says, "Well, I said, he would be a really good GLIAC player. And the GLIAC's really good.
Yeah.
You got to be good to play at Grand Valley. You got to be really good to play at Ferris State. You know, I said
of the best
I could
hoopers.
see him at Saginaw Valley or some. That's not a knock at all.
Wayne State's in the GLIAC,
Okay.
aren't they? Wayne State? No, they're different.
No, one of the best hoopers I played with played at Saginaw Valley.
Okay, so really, right, really good. Some really good players have come from those places. Yeah, absolutely. Look at Ferris State winning national championship. Shout out to Tony, really good coach. He's like, "Oh, we think he can play at Michigan State." I said, "That's why I didn't want to answer the question."
Yeah, because you already got it made up in your head what you want your kid to go.
That's right. I said,
He
can't.
probably
No, I'm
could
sorry.
play
He
at
didn't say
Michigan
Michigan State.
State.
He said Western. And I said, he can't play at Western. He's not fast enough side to side.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to hear it. He ended up going to Michigan State, didn't play football anymore because there was nobody looking at him. It's a hard reality. It is, because the parents didn't reach there. They want their kid to keep going.
Yes,
If you've ever noticed, a lot of ex-athletes, they're sometimes the best parents because they know what it's like to go through it, and they're just like, you know what, if he wants to go, if she wants to go, that's great. If not, you know, I'm okay with that as long as they've had fun.
That's one thing I always tell people, you know, because my father played college, played NFL. People are always like, "Man, I know your father was hard." Yeah, he was hard, but not in that sense. As it related to playing football and furthering, he was always chill. You know, when he finally let me play when I was 12, I had begged for 3 years. He just was like, just go, give all the effort that you can. Just go out there, you show up on time, you outwork everybody. That's all he gave me. He didn't give me, "Oh, I watch practice now. You're not doing this." What you need to do is, if you want to get to high school, if you want to start by, he didn't do any of that. When I got to high school, it wasn't that. When I got to Michigan, it wasn't. He trusted the coaches. He trusted the process. He just always said, "You're going to work."
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to work. But that was it.
Yeah. If you don't like, I would tell this to any parent, because my son played lacrosse in college. I would say this: if you don't like to practice, if your kid doesn't like to practice, your son or daughter,
He better be Bo Jackson.
then
then
I be careful on what you're pushing toward. Bo
Yeah.
Jackson is, you know, obviously unbelievable.
Exactly.
What he was able to do. Because that's what you're doing more than anything else.
I was
You're
just saying that
practicing.
the other day about my daughter. I was explaining to her the process instead of practice. Well, she's a dancer. So I was like, if you got to fall in love with the process, because you're only on stage for a small amount of time. It's all the stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
If you can't enjoy that, then you're not going to be able to do it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good advice.
Yeah.
My daughter had some opportunities because she was a two-time All-State lacrosse player, and she said, "You know what?" I said, "You want to play? You want to play at the next level?" I hope you do. I wanted her to. I was pushed. She's like, no. She saw what her brother went through, the amount of dedication that it takes. She's like, I don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine.
That's what happened with my youngest sister. Shout out to Brooklyn. She saw what I went through. Well, she's much younger than me, but
still,
you can feel the leagues. She saw what my brother Berkeley went through. She saw what my brother Bailey went through. She didn't even look at sports. Like, she was like, look, I'm gonna do dance. I'm gonna do some skating on the side. Like, I'm not going to do the sports that they did because I saw how it went.
She was active, but she wasn't sports driven.
In her own way. Shep, I got to give you some advice, as well as the people in the chat. Scams are at an all-time high. Don't open any text messages, any emails, or anything like that, any phone calls, things you don't recognize. Don't answer it. Don't recognize it. No matter how much they try to make it seem like it's a number you recognize, or it's a text line, or it's something that you did, or call us so we can read. Don't do it. People are getting caught up in these scams. This isn't a read, by the way. This is me trying to hip you to some advice. Don't open these things up.
Why, did you get caught?
I didn't, but I'm seeing it more and more and more. I got scammed. Well, I got my information got hacked into my Twitter, which is now X, my IG and all that, and my Gmail in 2021. So I just been on that since then. But my mom almost got hacked the other day, and it's just on my mind.
What do you mean almost? She was going to answer it.
Because the way in which they present the information in the text or the email, it's like, oh, you to get your file or get your what's the word I'm looking for, to get your profile, to get it back active, to get it back on track, to get it back up to date,
to get mess with
get it back up to date, or like, this came up, like, and they make it. This some of the things that you may even have. It's a credit card that you might have. It might be an app that you use. They're sneaky. Don't accept anything.
Yeah, don't do it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Preach is exactly right. Somebody in the chat, Bo Jackson is by far the best athlete I've ever seen in my life.
He's
one of them. I mean, if Dave Winfield was pretty unbelievable. Now you may not have seen him, but Dave Winfield, when you get drafted as an NFL receiver, an NBA, a basketball player, and in Major League Baseball, and you go to Minnesota to play baseball, and you're just playing a pickup game in basketball, and people are like, hey, we want you to play on the basketball team. He was unbelievable. Bo Jackson was incredible, too. I don't think Bo Jackson gets, like, everyone talks about Deion Sanders all the time. Bo Jackson was in a league of his own in both
recency
sports.
Bias. My days always say that, recency bias.
Because Deion's back in the news, and then Deion came up with the 30 for 30 3 years ago, double play. So people saw the double play, and then he became the coach of Jackson. Now he's a coach of Colorado. So now they redo, kind of like his highlights and things of that nature.
Like,
but Bo was Bo. Yeah. Like, he was gonna be the guy that I brought up when we talk about people that you don't want to meet. I met Bo, and
you were disappointed.
I met him at an autograph signing. Like, the hoops that he put me through to get a signed jersey. First of all, we're sitting next to each other, and we're autographing together at a card show.
You're kidding me.
And I whispered in his ear. Like, I was like, hey, that sounds funny. Yeah. But I whispered in his ear during an event. I said, look, man, I can't tell you what it means to meet you. Like, I still have the infamous in my house, the Bo Jackson shoulder pass with the bat.
Yes.
I think it's one of the hardest pictures of all time. Yeah. You guys have been in the house. You guys saw it. The jersey and all that.
That's badass, yeah.
That jersey, I had to beg that man to sign that jersey for me. He was like, but you didn't pay for it. He said, but you didn't pay for it. I was like, fine, I'll buy the jersey. I bought the jersey, and he was like, but you didn't wait in the line.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, I said, you know what? Like, your NFL career wasn't that. You got hurt. Now I'm pissed. Now my mind was like, well, you know what? Now you had the hip injury. You wasn't even that good. I looked at you. I didn't say that because I'm not stupid, but that's what you start thinking about.
Yeah.
Bo was Bo, man. Bo knows.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
The other guy, I think, of Brian Jordan, was pretty damn good too.
Same team.
Yeah.
Deion, he played on the same team.
He played same team as Deion. Yeah. So when you look at when you can do, and don't give me Michael Jordan because he's not a baseball player. Okay. When you can do more than one thing is what I'm referring to. Like Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time. But Danny Ainge played baseball and basketball.
Basketball and football.
Yeah.
And it's three.
Well, at BYU, I think baseball and basketball, right? That's all I knew of.
Who am I thinking about? It is Danny Ainge. Baseball, basketball is one more sport. He's three.
Okay, we'll have to look that up. I was unaware. Look, in this state, our friend Kirk Gibson was unbelievable. He would have been a first-round NFL pick.
Yeah,
without a doubt, if he hadn't chosen. I was talking with Lance Parrish last night. Lance Parrish was being recruited by Dick Vermeil at UCLA, he would have been competing with Vince Ferragamo and Steve Bartkowski at quarterback if he accepted his football scholarship. He was going to either USC, Texas, UCLA, a couple other places, Cal Berkeley, something like that, which is where I think Ferragamo went. So, the athleticism, you played baseball, you played track, you ran track, you played football. All you guys do that. But playing at the highest level, 2 different sports, is just mind-blowing to me.
And I got that on Danny Ainge as well. It says in college, he was a 3-sport standout athlete, football, baseball, and basketball.
Oh,
in
so he did play football.
He played professional baseball with the Toronto Blue Jays before transitioning to a successful NBA career with the Boston Celtics.
The multiple sport stuff, that's an important piece to what the kids are going through today. I have talked to countless doctors. Oh, yeah. I believe this at my core, at my heart. Back in the day, we played soccer, baseball, basketball, outside, football, track, wrestling, street tackle. You played it all, so your body gets used to
even hockey.
Your body gets used to training the whole body. I.e., we didn't have all these injuries. See, now they're only playing one sport. They're focusing on the same exercises. They're only training the same muscles. And guess what muscles do when you overuse them? They wear out, and eventually you tear something, you break something, Tommy John, etc. It's because they're only playing one sport and they're only working on the same freaking muscles. Like gymnasts, they don't be getting hurt. And why? It's a total body sport. They work on the back, the tris, the legs, the quads, calves. Swimmers the other one, the buoyancy in the water. But now if you're a baseball player, starting at 11 years old, you're only playing baseball from 11 to if you make it to the big show. If basketball from 11 to you make it to the big show.
Our friend Red Berenson used to tell me.
Shout out to Red, University of Michigan legend.
Yeah, used to tell me all the time, when we were done with hockey, we hung up the skates and we grabbed our baseball gloves. And we would go out there and do that. And I'm not talking about one, like Michael Phelps might be the greatest individual performer in any sport I've ever seen. The dominance that he had was simply amazing. I'm talking about more than one sport, and like you said, at the highest level, when you are, and we didn't like Danny Ainge, but when you can play 2 professional sports, your Bo Jackson, your Deion, you have to respect it, just like we respect a lot of the merchandise that you and others wear from Woodward Sports.
100%.
Hey, and you know what? We're going to hear about the merch, and then I'm going to throw it right back over to you, Shep, for Lady James. But let me tell you guys about this merch. Hey, the likes are looking good. If you didn't get an opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button. Thank you guys for supporting the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep and the crew. And you could be going home with some merch today. If you can't wait for that merch, then definitely get on over to woodwardsports.com so you can get your own merch. And we got a lot of stuff going on right now. So are you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? Well, it's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at thewoodwardsports.com. And click shop hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
You want to turn heads when you have a good, nice, clean cut haircut, right? Absolutely. You want to look like Ricky, you want to look like Braylon, I don't blame you. But they don't have time to sit in the chair for a long period of time, listen to boring stories, and waiting for people to figure out what they want their hair to look like. That's not what you get when you go to Lady Jane's. What you get is you get professionals who know exactly what you want. They listen to what you say. They are very comfortable and talking to you and having good stories with you, but making sure they value your time. So you come to Lady Jane's, it's uncomplicated. You get a haircut here, you walk in, you sign in, and before you know it, you are out the door looking better than ever. Lady Jane's open 10 till 8. 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The boys of of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's hot summer sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The hot summer sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
You guys saw the video. You saw what it was. The boy feels good. The back feels good. And that's because I went to Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider here at Woodward Sports, Michigan Sports and Spine. Check this out, man. Dr. Pierce is a guy you know, but he's the guy you should trust, whether you're a child flipping bats, you know what I'm saying, in little leagues, whether you're a former NFL player just trying to work out in the gym, or whether you're just a dad just sitting on the couch about to get ready to go play a golf round and you want to get your shit together. You see Dr. Pierce. See Dr. Pierce, man. He's the guy we trust. He's the guy we love. And you will see him in studio today. So we'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit later. But look, Dr. Pierce is the guy. For that number, it's 248-426-9944. You call that number, somebody over there in his office will take care of you. And once you get in, the man himself, Dr. Pierce, will see you. He's the guy we use. He's the guy we love, Dr. Pierce.
Now, if I told you you could place a bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back, you probably think I was crazy, probably think I was lying to you, but I'm not, man. Scan the QR code or enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet has to be at least $20. So download that Caesar Sportsbook app right now. It is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Or you can just use the code Woodward1000. Scan that QR code right now. Download that. $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. I'm not a gambling man. I might try that.
That's what's up. Okay. That's what's up.
And we back.
I'm telling you. Hey, can Dr. Pierce cure like holes? That's the question.
I'm sure he could with a dissolvable stitch. What Shep is bringing up.
Shep.
Thank you for that.
Can we get a 1947 translator? What did you just say?
So this is what happened. And zoom in on this for me, Kool-Aid, when I show it. So today I got a great message in hurry. The last 5 weeks at church, the message has been hurry sickness. You know, nothing good comes from hurry. It's not of God. It's not. So nothing good comes from hurry. I was rushing in the house to use the restroom, and fast forward, I knew I had to use the restroom when I was in the grocery store. I knew I had to use the restroom when I was
That's the worst.
100%. I knew when I finished my workout that I could easily go in the locker room. I could easily go into the restroom at Plum Hollow. At Plum Market.
This is exactly what kids do, man. This is what guys do.
I am blaming myself. I had ample opportunity to comfortably use the restroom. But no, I chose to wait till I got home, wait till it hit its peak. And so now I'm running in the house to use the restroom. I dropped the grocery bags right outside so I can just go in there and, easy access, and slid on the floor in the kitchen, caught the doorwell of the restroom, but I hit my chin on the doorwell and then got a hole in my lip. So I almost went to the emergency.
Show the people, man.
There we go.
Oh no,
that's nasty.
So, but you know what? I didn't take it the way of being frustrated and oh my God, I'm hurting. I can't do the show. Why me? Now I gotta go to the urgent care and get a stitch. I took it as, you know what? Slow your beat down. So I slowed myself down, and I've had a great morning ever since. Sometimes you gotta run into a doorway to get yourself together. But I will tell you this: didn't spill a drop.
Not a dribble.
There we go.
Did you make it to the bathroom?
I did. That is a fact. That's a valid question. I made it inside. I didn't spill a drop, and then I used it to recorrect my energy for the day.
You realize all guys can relate. I mean, everybody in the chat right now should be able to relate. Where you've got to go to the bathroom and you just don't. Why don't you go? I do it all the time. Why am I not going? Why am I trying to get something else done before I do that? It's absolutely stupid. Right. What's the dumbest injury you've ever had while doing something You shouldn't have. We see this all the time with athletes. Okay, do you guys know who Kendrys Morales was? Former catcher.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
He hit a grand slam. He was celebrating at home plate, and he ripped up his knee.
Stephen Tulloch.
Stephen Tulloch is a really good memory.
The discount double check.
Yeah.
Stephen Tulloch. Discount double check.
I forgot about that. That's a great one.
I'll never forget watching that. Yep. Never saw him again. Never touched the field again.
He's the best linebacker that we've had.
He was balling
since Chris Philby.
He got a sack.
Stephen Boyd was better than Stephen Tulloch, I think. Just my opinion.
Okay.
But
I'm cool with that.
But he's probably the best one since Stephen Boyd.
Maybe if you know what, if Tully's whole career was here, I'd say Tully. Because he was really good for the Titans.
Yes.
Then he came here, and I think his first 2 years were really good. And he kind of started falling. You're right. I give you that.
Really good dude. I really liked him.
He's friends with the network. He's friends with Chad.
But that's a really good one. I had forgotten about that celebration. There's a kid by the name of Clint Barnes who played for the Colorado Rockies. He was injured while carrying bear meat.
Wait, what?
Yes. He was carrying bear meat. Do you remember Sammy Sosa?
That's manly. Yes. That's a manly way to get
That is
injured.
a manly injury. Sammy Sosa, remember he got hurt sneezing.
Bleaching his skin. Oh, I'm sorry. Yo, I lived in Miami from my whole time in off season in the NFL. I lived in Miami.
Sweating.
I used to love going to this spot called what was it called back then? Dolce Vita. And it was like a Tuesday night party. Like it was an inside outside club. They had like the palm trees outside, bar outside. They used to do these. It was extravagant. Well, 2012, I went one night and Sammy was there. He had a primetime table, and when I tell you, I couldn't even look over there.
He looked like the
because
club
you would you would stare, like, and I'm not a stare. You know, I don't want to be staring like. So, but it looked interesting. It looked interesting to say.
It was. How did that happen?
100%.
How was that transformed? It's a very strange thing.
What about Scotty Scheffler with the wine bottle breaking his? He cut his finger and he couldn't.
Didn't
go.
Lindsey Vaughn do that too? Cut her thumb or something like that on a bottle of champagne.
I think so.
Yeah,
allegedly.
I think she did too.
Tiger Woods in the golf club in the car.
All the cars.
That was like the morning.
That wasn't the injury from it. That injury stemmed from something else. Tiger Woods
still a dumb injury.
Dustin Johnson at the Masters in the rented home. Oh, I tripped over something and fell down the steps. Yeah. Dustin, you was out there turning up with all your people. Y'all was out there getting drunk for the Masters. And fell down the steps.
Yeah, we kind of buy into a lot of these excuses. I don't know. Do you remember there was a Matt Anderson who was the first overall pick for the Detroit Tigers, and he was in a octopus throwing contest? And injured his arm, if you remember that.
Is this back when the Wings when they first got into the octopus? Yeah, it was like 95.
Yeah. I don't know the year. The octopus was way before. I don't know the answer to that either. I know just know people were pissed because he's supposed to be a closer.
Tatis hurt himself 2 years ago on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Here's a motorcycle story.
Yeah, but we're not talking about just injuries. We're talking about dumb injuries. Like Chris Coughlin for the Florida Marlins injured himself putting a pie into one of his teammates' faces.
That's right.
Oh, got you.
You remember that? He slipped, and he by throwing the pie into his teammate's face.
Now, do y'all remember the person who was it was a fan at the Atlanta Hawks game, and they were doing the halftime stuff, and they were doing layups. They were supposed to go get the ball. He tore his ACL, and the person, like the MC, didn't know what to do or how to handle it.
Oh, yeah.
The other person that was playing, they was like, I'm getting my money. I'm not stopping. I'm not checking on him or nothing, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, dude is like on the ground walking around like Peter Griffin, bro, from Family Guy. It was pretty wild to see that one.
Here's the worst one ever, and I believe it's the worst one ever because he was in line to get a 9-figure contract from the New York Giants.
Okay.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I don't mess with fireworks. Yeah, I'll go to fireworks and I'll be way away from whoever's lighting them. Something funny this year happened too. But anyway, fireworks. He blew off not one, not two, but 2.5 fingers, 3. And lost the bag, and it took a year to recover. He didn't play that year. Then eventually the Giants got rid of him. He won the Super Bowl. He got some money. Yeah. But it ain't the money that he was going to get from the Giants. Man. And I use ain't for effect.
You remember Brandon Marshall as a wide receiver?
Of course I do.
Yeah, of course
he
you
won't
do.
shut up.
Yeah.
Damn good player.
Remember when he got injured? He slipped on a McDonald's wrapper and his arm went through a television set.
Ooh.
Do you remember that?
No, but
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was like in 2008.
Well, and why is my mind blanking? Who was it that they messed their feet up in the cryo tank?
In the cryo tank? Oh, it was AB.
AB.
It was AB.
Yeah.
It was AB.
Yeah.
He's my feet.
Yeah.
My feet.
My feet.
I ain't trying to lie about it.
I lied about an injury one time.
I bet you did.
What is that?
Most athletes do.
What is that? No, so I was playing. We all think we can hoop.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was basketball.
All football players think they can hoop. You know what I'm saying? Look, I can't dribble. It is what it is. I can dribble, but I ain't taking nobody, put them in the blender. I ain't dribble like that. I'm defense, steals, throw me alley-oop. I'm running the court, running the floor. But I rolled my ankle bad in 2009, maybe like May, June. My ankles blew up. I messed up some ligaments in there, torn some ligaments. I told them, full disclosure, I had just got a new Rottweiler. Shout out to Louis, rest in peace. I told them that, my Rottweiler tripped me and tripped down the steps. So that's why when that Dustin Johnson story came out, I said, "Oh, Dustin, I've been there before. I know you lying."
But that might be a Joseph Fourier, man. I think that was the same thing from him.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Said he tripped over his dog, I believe.
Yeah.
What up, Ricky?
So you covered up a classic black injury with an even blacker excuse. A Rottweiler.
But I had a Rottweiler though. You know what I'm saying? It was legit. But you're right though.
Baby.
They knew it's
They
funny.
said, Braylon, we need to hear you gonna talk to somebody. Real
They
quick.
was cool with it. They knew what it was, and they just never
Yeah,
said
they used to it.
anything.
Oh, that's funny.
I look back and I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I got traded. I don't know.
Here's a few other ones. Glenn Healy cut his hand on switching bagpipes while he was trying to play. So he cut his hand on that.
crazy.
That affected him as a goalie.
I didn't know bagpipes were so dangerous.
I didn't either. Moises Alou, if you remember him, fell off a treadmill. You're an athlete. How do you fall off a treadmill and injure yourself? And lastly, Jeff Kent broke his hand washing his car. That's where, really? Are you
Whoa.
sure you didn't do it some other way?
You got into a fight.
You got into a fight. Yeah.
But kudos, you was out here throwing punches. It's not like your eye socket got broken, your fist got broken, so you was throwing punches.
Right, exactly. See, the dog thing seems to be very convenient. I mean, your guy, Brian.
Who doesn't love dogs?
Your guy, Brian Greasy, says he tripped on a dog when he was playing.
Brian's my guy. and just know, when I say he's my guy, he's my guy.
You're gonna leave it right there, aren't you?
He's doing good, though. I got a chance to see him at the event on Main, Charles Woodson's charity event that he does every year. Greasy's doing really good, had some great conversations about the 49ers, Brock Purdy, and just life in general. Obviously, his father played ball at the highest level, undefeated in 1972, although he wasn't a quarterback he missed the playoff game. I can't remember.
That's right.
But and then
Earl Morrall was the guy. Yeah.
And then my fault, right? Earl Morrall, also Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Michigan
I
State
go back.
guy. Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking about his father and my father over that, but he's doing good. So.
Do we believe Joel Zamaya injured himself playing guitar on Guitar Hero? Do you remember when that was the thing? He injured his wrist doing that. Do you believe that?
The
yes
lie
or no?
detector says that.
I say yes. I say yes.
Why?
Because I used to play Guitar Hero a lot in that era. We used to have Guitar Hero parties. Like when you put that thing on expert, and you trying to get the fret.
What was your favorite song to do?
When they had the Aerosmith Dream On. Like when they came out with the Aerosmith edition, that one, and Painted Black.
Oh, by the Stones.
By the Stones. Painted Black was a good one. Yeah, but those when you went to expert, like the fretter and all that. So
you had mentioned this guy last week, Plaxico Burress.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Classic.
That's number one and always will be.
He shot himself.
Every time you mention somebody, I have a story. I got a story.
Talk to us.
I have a Plaxico Burress story. So 2010 was my last year with the Jets.
Okay.
It's the off season. It's the lockout year.
All right.
And I'm coming off. I got traded to the Jets 09. AFC Championship appearance, we lose. I had 80-yard touchdown in the game. Fast forward the next season, AFC Championship appearance, we lose. I'm thinking I'm coming back to the Jets. Like, I found a home. Like, this is it. I'm going with the Jets. It's going to be great. They choose not to bring me back. And who did they sign in my stead? None other than Plaxico Burress, who just got out of the big house, right? So his first preseason game, he had a touchdown, and I was playing for the 49ers. And in the restaurant, I'm with my mom, with my dad, my mom, my dad, and I'm looking at it on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, okay, Plax had a touchdown. That's what's up. So I'm sending some love on Twitter. Hey, there you go. So I'm sending some love on Twitter, but, shout out is S.
Oh, you told the story.
I told the story, /O, like shout out. I actually spelled shot, Shep. When I was sending him some love, I said, yo, shout out, S-H-O-T, to Plaxico Birds, and he was wearing 17. So the way that it was interpreted is Braylon Edwards is mad that he's no longer a Jet, so he's hating and cracking jokes on Plax. Luckily, I knew Plax, so I was able to contact him like, Plax, he's, man, I know they be on that bull, but definitely never made that mistake again. I
don't know if that's worse than Gus Frerotte injuring his neck when he hit a wall.
Banged his
right?
head.
That's pretty bad.
Was that the Reds? Well, Commanders.
That was when was he with the Redskins then, or was he with the Vikings?
Redskins.
Okay, he was with the Redskins.
Because he played the Lions.
Yeah,
he beat the Lions.
Okay, was that today? All right. I thought for some reason I thought it was when he was with a different team. Let me give you two more real quick, and then we got to go to break. Marty Cordova played for Baltimore Orioles. He burned his skin by self-tanning. That's a stupid injury. And lastly, from a football standpoint, Jack Del Rio used to have a stump when he was the head coach of Jackson. You know where I'm going with this?
Yep.
And he tells guys, keep chopping wood. Well, I think Chris Hansen was a punter for them. He did that, tried to chop the wood. He chopped his own foot.
Oh. Whoa, how uncoordinated.
Accidental, Ronnie Lott.
Accidental. I see what you did there. That's funny.
Right?
Yeah, that's very good.
That's coordinated with his arms.
Those are the types of injuries I'm referring to. I thought that's pretty stupid.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
The Plax one, go back to the Plax one for a second.
Okay.
It just sucks in all accounts for him. Not only did he shoot himself at a nightclub, he also shot himself in one of two states that you don't want to have a gun.
Right.
Like one of two states that you could be anywhere. Actually, let's just stick with New York. This is the one state. Government officials have issues getting guns in New York. And then when you go to the hospital, you're 6'6", 245 pounds, and you just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everyone in the state knows who you are, Plax. So when you give them the made-up name, it only draws more eyes. This is where you gotta have like those mob movies where they got like the guys that you can see at 3 in the morning in the alley, like the little what?
He's a friend of mine. Yeah,
but he probably would have bled out. But it's funny now. Like we talk about it now, it's hilarious. But
he spent 2 years in jail, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Yeah, that's why it is funny that they chose to keep him. I mean, to pick him up and not bring me back. Dummies. That's why he ain't been in the playoffs since.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I love my Jets. The Jets, they had a bad thing happen to them today.
What was that?
Justin Fields got carted off.
Okay.
Leg injury.
That's right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
we could talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk about it's closer to home, a player who's lauding and doing the right thing as a leader, even though he hasn't been getting a whole lot of love lately as a forgotten man. We'll talk about that when we come back. But first, this from BlackRock.
Check this out. Congrats to our Tigers tickets winner, Chris Raddick from Ken. See what happens? See when you scan that QR code. Right on time there, Kool-Aid. That was perfect. See what happens when you scan the QR code. See what happens when you pay attention. You win things. Shout out to Chris Raddick from Ken. He won. And now it's up to someone else. You could win filet for a year. And what that means is you get one free steak dinner every month. That's 12 steak dinners. You don't need that much steak anyway. That's perfect. It's right on time, man. Don't you want this? This is easy. All you got to do is scan that QR code, and it could be you. Now, as it relates to more giveaways around sports, 4 tickets to the home opener on September 14th. Man, I'm telling you, Woodward Sports and BlackRock, the people we work with, we want to celebrate and give opportunities for you. Scan the QR code, get involved, tickets, and potentially steak.
So you're telling me I got a chance for football, steak, and the Braylon Edwards show?
Well done, steaks.
Yeah, you don't.
Find me something that's better than that right now.
Car deals.
I'm telling you, man. Car deals, that's a good one. Yeah, Les Stanford's got a really good deal right now.
Hey.
They've got a couple of them, actually. Stanford, Buick, and GMC. Great offers for everybody. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special, $599 a month plus tax. You're not beating that anywhere. Don't forget about the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation lease special, only $169 a month. These things are tasty and they are easy to use, and they're very beneficial. Seriously, I mean, you want to move plants in the spring, what else are you going to use? You're going to use a Sierra Double Cab. You want to move your child to college? What else are you going to use? A Sierra Double Cab. Or you could help them with the Hummer EV SUT lease special that's going on. So it's really beneficial for you. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. All the colors you want with all the kinds of bells and whistles. Les Stanford Buick GMC. For all lease specials, go to their website. It's lesstanford.com.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Hermione and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here, do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
All right, kids, you know what time it is. I call you kids because you're kids to me, but you're a teen, so I'll give you that. Teens, 14 to 19, you work out for free. August 31st, the gig is up, so you still have time. Get out of the house, get into the gym, man. Get away from the screens. Physical and mental health are equally important. We want you to have both, so that's why it's free. The high school, summer, pass, 14 to 19 kids, you work out for free. For those who aren't in those ranges, look, check this out. Get to the gym. Summer's ready, summer's ripe, and it's the gym for you. No judgment, judgment free. At the end of the day, if they judge, who cares? Because it's about you anyway, but they don't judge, and they make it known that they don't judge. Trainers with every membership, gyms are squeaky clean, blah, blah, blah. You know what it is. Planet Fitness. Sign up, show up, where your fitness is essential.
So I just shot a video of Shep in the chair for the first. Shep, how was the chair?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel so good right now.
Yeah,
I was only in it for like 45 seconds. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I've never been in it before.
Oh,
I mean, the massage is unreal.
We're not on that read yet. I just wanted to.
Oh.
I'm put on the social.
sorry.
I shot a video for the socials. I just want to make sure everybody follows us on all the social media platforms,
Holy
man.
cow.
Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. For the latest sports news, live updates, and that behind-the-scenes action like Shep in the chair going crazy, man.
Can I just say one thing real quick, Ricky? If you're ever going to say that's what's up, that's when you say it.
That's why I say it. I'm in it all the time.
I don't blame you. I'm going to start saying it more and more often
There
now.
you go. At Woodward Sports on all social platforms. Follow us. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That's at Woodward Sports everywhere. Yeah, the chair is crazy, man.
That's a new segment, man.
And we back.
That's a new segment. That's
I
what's
like
up.
it. I like it.
That's what's up. It's got to be special.
5 things, well, like 2 things, that's what's up, or
Right.
just 1 thing?
Whatever you want. It's your
Okay.
show, but I'm just saying it's got to be something special.
You know
If
what?
you're
This
gonna-
is just for him.
Yeah, it's just for Ricky,
It's just for Ricky.
because he says it better than anybody, but I'm going to start saying it more often. My
There you
kids
go.
are going to give me a double take and say stop it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. That's how you gotta live life, man.
But when I sit in that chair, if I can spit it out, because right now I'm just going, oh my God, that's
Right.
what's up. I mean, that is
So
awesome.
what you're missing out on is the feet part, and at one point it'll go up and it'll like massage like your what is this part? I can't even think of the not hamstrings. I can't even think of what's
Quads?
the back. The quads. It'll get like your quads while you're up. Man, it's crazy. Man.
Yeah, it's
Shout out to
beautiful.
Massage Chair House.
That's why you talking about quads with Dave Montgomery in the background.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. I
Yeah.
think you do too. I think he's a valuable player for this team. I don't think he's a. The word great is overused way too often. I mean, here's a guy who averages about 61 yards per game in his career.
David, with how much time
that
the
right?
offensive line and running backs spend
you're
together,
I said 65.
how much do you
I
put it
thought
on
that-
yourself to
Yeah,
help
you're
the
right.
younger
But
offensive line
David
just kinda
Montgomery
come to
is a
and
guy who
pick the stuff
I
up
think he
really
handles
quickly?
himself the right way. We talked about it earlier in the week, how he feels almost like he's a little misjudged. You know, people in the offense are talking about everybody else other than him. But he said something at practice yesterday about the younger offensive linemen, Christian Mahogany being one of them, for example, Tate Ratledge being another. If we've got that sound, let's play that right now. What David Montgomery had to say and what kind of good teammate this guy really is. Listen to this.
David, with how much time the offensive line and running backs spend together, how much do you put it on yourself to help the younger offensive line just kind of come to and pick this stuff up really quickly?
Oddly enough, I think it's like more so of me trying to get closer to them as a person than trying to like help push them to, get the playbook. Because I mean, everybody's telling them to get in the playbook. Everybody's kind of pushing them to make sure that they know what they know. So I kind of bring in a different narrative of telling them like, I'm here to just be a teammate to you, to let you know like, don't allow this to give you pressure at all, but allow you to just, know what you're capable of and do what you know you can.
How much do you love that? I know you're not supposed to like players for how they are in front of a microphone or how they handle things, but yesterday, you said something really good about Marcus Davenport and what he said. This is just the opposite. Yeah. This shows you, I think, perhaps we overuse the word leader. I think that shows you leadership. He's trying to get to know these young guys as people, not necessarily players.
First thing you said was the word great gets overused. I think he's good. He's not great. He's great for the Detroit Lions. He's great for the Detroit Lions. He's a really good player. First thing he said, I remember the first interview that he did when he got here. The first thing he said, look, man, I don't care who's starting, who's going to be out there. He said, I don't care where you put me. When you put me out there, I'll do what I'm supposed to do. I don't care if it's carrying the water. He said that. I don't care if it's carrying water. I don't care if it's second. I don't care where it's at. When you put me out there, know that you're going to get the best out of 5. That's the type of guy he is. That's the type of leader you need. Now, as it relates to helping the young guys out, and we said this year, Shep, this is a guy that has played on a team in the front office in just a messed up situation. And he saw what that was. He saw that's not where he ever wanted to be again. The Detroit Lions gave him opportunity, and he has taken it and run with it in that sense. But he's a guy that is an X and O's guy. When you watch him out there, just pay attention when Jahmyr Gibbs comes off the field. Who is he talking to? Pay attention to who are they talking to? Pay attention to the linemen last year. Who are they talking to? It's because Dave Montgomery sees the game just like when you're watching film, so they can trust on him, they can lean on him, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to give it back to the game. So he wants to get with these guys, Tate Ratledge. He wants to get with Glasgow and see what side he feels comfortable on, relay messages to him. Panay Sewell, that's going to be his guy. That's the things that he does. So when he's talking about wanting to pour into the younger kids, wanting to know who they are outside of ball as well, when you start learning how people are, people will listen to you. When you take the time to care as a veteran, he's a veteran in this league. When you take the time to care, like I remember when I was in Cleveland, and this is no shot at Cleveland, nothing like that. I told you, I'm done taking shots at Cleveland. But there wasn't a ton of veteran guys that I could go to when I first got drafted in 2005 that cared like that. They're a losing team. When you're a losing team, you have losing attitude, a losing mindset. But Andre Davis, who was a linebacker, he's a great linebacker out of Florida. He was a good linebacker. He's a great person, great leader. He used to just talk to me about things, talk to me about the game, talk to me about myself and who I was and my family. I started listening to Andre. So then when that same guy would come to me in a situation where I needed help, where I was messing up, I would listen to whatever he had to say. And I think that's what Dave Montgomery is showing these young guys, or even the veterans too. That's the kind of guy he is. He may not be vocal, like you may not think of him as the C on his chest and all that, but I guarantee you in that locker room, especially on the offensive side, they're listening to 5 because 5 is there. 5 is trustworthy because he's consistent. And that goes to what you said about why he got that carry to start the game against the Washington Commanders, because that's the kind of guy he is. So it's a reward for what he is.
When I hear that soundbite from him, I think culture immediately.
Yep.
And I know, again, that probably gets overused because we hear that phrase constantly in sports. He's got to change the culture, right? I mean, John Beilein came into Michigan. What's he got to do? He's got to change the culture, all right?
But he did.
Dan Campbell's got to change the culture. Well, they have done that. They've done it with these types of guys, too.
Yeah.
May not be a superstar, may not start in a Pro Bowl, may, when all is said and done, be considered a very good back.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to be in Canton to be impactful. And
that's a bar.
I think he makes a lot of people on that team believe in what they can do.
My bad. I was over here writing that down. That definitely was a bar. You don't have to be in Canton
to be impactful.
To be impactful.
Yeah. Just the right time.
Yeah.
No, and it's going to come back and it's going to be good. See, I was so dialed into that. You got to finish what you said again, man. That's
all right.
That 42-year-old starting to kick in a little bit.
No, it's good. I think he's done a really good job of helping establish what this organization wants to be.
When you have guys like this, you don't have to micromanage players so much. You don't have to follow behind players and give information. You don't have to, after every bad thing that happens, break something down or stop practice or have a team meeting and things like that, because you know you have a guy like this. You know that this guy is going to be able to relay the information to the team. And Dan Campbell, he shut down practice the other day, right? Shut down practice. When you shut down practices like
early,
that,
yep.
It ended early. You got guys that are going to feed off that energy and be able to relay to the younger players or even some of the veterans that aren't there yet, going to be able to relate this message and or whatever that message you wanted to. So, yeah, he He's one of those guys, man. But it was the energy he came in with. When he first got here, the first presser that he did during training camp was, look, I'm just excited to be here. I'm coming from this place. I want to see what they're doing. I want to be a part of this. I don't care about starting or second string. Whatever the Detroit Lions need me to do, that's what I would do. And you're seeing it, like, still. Like, he's the same person he was in, and they've had success. He's had success. He's had 2 successful years. Yeah. More successful than he did in Chicago, and he's still that guy.
Which is crazy to me because I thought he was already a bruiser. I thought he was already dope. We know what he did to the Detroit Lions for years. Yeah. You shocked me with some stats beforehand, but it was because of, like Bray said, how good he's been here. We saw him actually, towards the tail end of his career now, take a step forward underneath Dan Campbell's offensive system.
Is it the tail end of his career? He's only played 6 years in the league. Is that the tail end?
It seems like with the narrative that people are ready to put him out the pasture.
I know. But I think that has more to do with the emergence of Jahmyr Gibbs than it does the decline of David Montgomery. What refreshes me is it gives me more hope for athletes. I know that's kind of silly, but it's true. When I hear a guy like that lead that way, speak that way, care that way, that means a lot to me. Like we were talking about earlier. Whose name would you wear on the back? That's a guy's name I'd wear on the back.
When you hear that, you know what you also do? It takes you back to giving the credit to Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell for the type of guys that they bring in.
Yes.
Like, that's where you got to give Brad Holmes that credit because he's in his meeting rooms. He's on the phone. He's visiting in person to vet the guy that he's going to bring in. They didn't draft him. So, you know, he's very cautious about the guys he brings in, and he brought him in here, and this is what you're getting. The guys like that, A+ to Brad Holmes, A+ to Dan Campbell, because I know you don't like this word, but they are guys that help a culture, and they created a culture here that everyone not in Detroit appreciates.
And just to piggyback on that, you're hearing this from the vets of the squad like David Montgomery, but you also heard this from guys like Sam Laporta, who's just starting off his career, but you heard him say, hey, look, whether I get all the touches or not, we had a historic offseason. The fact that these guys, whether they're the older ones or the younger ones, they get it. The on-the-field stuff as well as the intrinsic stuff.
There's something to be said for that, don't you think?
There's something there for the Lions.
No, there really is. I mean, I don't want to use the word like. Oh, this guy, you like him, so what? You want him to be productive. You want him to win. I get all that, all right? But when you have guys like this, those are winning players, man. What he does, how he treats others on his team, the expectations, the work ethic, the leadership, those are winning players. I want winning players.
And they rub off on the younger players. You know, like David Montgomery's been here too. It's his 3rd year for the Detroit Lions. That rubs off on the younger guys. That even though he's on the opposite side, that rubs off on a Terrion Arnold. That rubs off on a Brian Branch. That rubs off on soon-to-be Tate Rallis. That rubs off on a Jameson Williams who was trying to find himself in that same period that David Montgomery got here. You know what I'm saying? It rubs off on these guys.
It could also rub off. Could it not also rub off on a veteran as well?
Yes.
I mean, could DJ Reed come in and say, "Oh, this is David Montgomery's a good example of how they do things here."
100%.
Right? Taylor Decker is a good example of how they do things here.
Yeah, especially when you're coming from a place, as we know, Cincinnati, not to be an all-the-way-in type city, an all-the-way-in type team. There's some issues between their structure. There's some issues between their culture. So when you come here, you have a mindset of what the NFL is. Like, that's how it is. When I left Cleveland was not in a place that they're in a better place now, much better. We weren't in that place. So when I got to the Jets, shout out, Doc, I see you in the studio. When I got to the Jets, I was, okay, you know, is this how the NFL is? I've heard stories that places are better, but you got to prove it. And then I got to the Jets, and the training staff was better. The locker room was better. The coaches were better. But you don't know what you don't know. So DJ Reader gets here. And now he's watching number 5 and how he's acting. It's like, oh, this could be different. This is different. Now let me drop down some of my facade of what I thought the league was and my natural just wanting to be this way. No, you don't have to be that way. Right. You can dial in, be a team player, be humble, and get after it. And kick some you know what.
Yeah, I love that about him, and it reassures me of – I liked him when they first picked him up.
Yeah. And
it's sound bites like that. I'm sure there are other sound bites that people could pick and say, oh, it wasn't a great guy. Maybe you caught him on a bad day. It's sound bites like that and the reaction that I believe is genuine and makes me go, I picked the right guy.
Thomas Jones was like that for the Jets when I first got to New York. He was the starting running back. Sean Green from Iowa was the backup running back, and they did the two-head monster. Sean Green would have been more like the David Montgomery. However, Thomas Jones acted like how David Montgomery was. He didn't mind talking to players. He might get to know you a little bit. And and giving the game to you and tell you this is how we do it here.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you've done in the NFL or what has happened to you. This is how things work in the New York. And I was all right, bet. Let's rock and roll.
Because that's going to pass it on. I mean, Tate Ratledge, my hope is Tate Ratledge, Christian Mahogany recognize that effort from David Montgomery. Like, he doesn't have to – he's answering a question, so it's valid. But he doesn't have to say that stuff to them. They should recognize that. I'm sure they do, and realize, you know what? This dude's genuine.
Yeah.
This guy wants us to do well, not just because it means good things for him, but it means good things for us moving forward.
But it works too it works for the Lions. It works for the offense, and it works for the fans because you guys are going to be recipient of the touchdowns. When Dave Montgomery gets in the huddle and the offensive line knows where the ball is going and they know it's going to 5 and they know how they feel about 5, you're going to get a little bit more intensity on that play. You'll get a little more excitement on that play. They're going to have a little bit more in there hitching the giddy up on that play. And guess what that leaves? Well, Dave Montgomery sees his hole. This play that was supposed to go for 6, this play's going for 66 because the boy can still run.
Good point.
Yeah.
Jeff Pierce has run himself into the studio. What's up, Doc? How are you? Are you doing all right?
Doc, you're the best, man. Yeah, you're the best.
You fixed our friend here, man.
It feels great.
What happened? Yeah.
The team, but I made the phone call, and then the phone call led to the phone call that got me in at 10:45, and now a day later, feel good, man. I'm ripping my shirt off talking about rest in peace Hulk Hogan.
How'd you diagnose his issue?
Over the phone. It starts from the head working down, but we'll talk about that later. No, I mean, Braylon, kudos to him. I mean, he's working hard to maintain that next decade of infrastructure, which we really talk about, and it's great messaging to our listeners that he's getting a wake-up call. I was an unbelievable athlete, peak performance through junior high school, college, professional, and then I had this period of time where I don't have the whole team and that motivation, and I think he's transformed on this show because you've really picked up your game. And what that does is every decade, like I've said multiple times, it gets harder and harder to maintain.
Yeah.
So by pushing, he's maintaining his infrastructure for another decade, for another year. Like I say, if you do absolutely nothing in a year except your same workout, you're gaining 5 pounds. And that's changing muscle to fat typically. So, with him pushing it at the gym.
Explain that again. If you do the same workout all the time, you're gaining 5 pounds in a year?
By doing nothing in a year, you gain 5 pounds.
By doing nothing differently.
Nothing different.
Right, okay.
To advance yourself.
So if you're just maintaining, right? If that's the word they use in the gym. We're just maintaining. I do the same stuff all the time. I do the same
If you don't change it up and add to that,
okay,
you're still probably going to gain 5 pounds that year.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that.
Because the body adapts. The
body's not ripping stuff down. It's not, like you see the 18-year-old eats whatever they want. You're not doing that anymore.
No,
I am. I'm not able to get rid of it like they do.
Wear it now.
You wear it better than they do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing. People are like,
I did not
like,
know
I'm
that.
guilty of it. I do the same workout I've been doing for the last many years. So I have to change it up. Like I say, you can have your routine, but you got to add something. You got to add a CrossFit. You got to add a bike. You got to add, a cycle.
How often? How often do you have to add it?
Usually, if you're switching up or if you switch your routine or you add something to it, you're looking at once or twice a week.
Okay.
You have to do something every day. People with injuries, like classic back injuries, at Sports and Spine, we deal with a lot of back.
Yeah.
You have a 20-minute routine that you do 7 days a week. That doesn't replace your workout that you need to be doing 3 times a week. If you want to be fit, if you want to be conquering against the natural weight gain, fight against the world of aging. I mean, I'm living it. I'm like in another decade. I'm feeling it in this decade. There's hormone changes. There's collagen change, elasticity. Your body's adapting. We're not aging just because the sky goes up every day. There's changes in your body.
I am stunned at the 5 pounds then.
Yeah.
Stunned.
You can't get past it.
No, I really can't. Because I always thought it was more about diet. What you're eating. If you're eating a bowl of ice cream every night at 9:30, you got problems, right? I mean, you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna gain some weight. I thought if you stopped eating by 8 and you ate the right things and all that, that would take care of it. You're telling me that if I'm doing a workout, if I'm doing, back and by every single Wednesdays, and I'm getting a little cardio in, and I keep doing the same stuff all the time, it's not really doing a whole lot of good for me.
But if you were eating crappy and your change in that year was your diet, that's a change.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so now that's an adaptive change.
Okay.
I went from eating a whole Hershey's bar down to Hershey Kisses in my 30s. So that was my change.
I eat 15 Hershey Kisses, but I don't eat the whole Hershey bar.
I usually I stop at 3, but that's a whole other story.
Doc, we apologize to you. We apologize at the conversation about eating Hershey Kisses and ice cream at 9:30 is good, and the fun stuff.
You just want to go for kisses.
No. But I want to go for some football because we have some serious questions to ask you before we get out of here, man. Look, Terry and Arnold got hurt today. Derek Barnes got hurt. We don't even have to talk about Le'Veon Enrique because it's done. Another defensive lineman. I got 2 questions for you. Okay. Question 1: you're seeing these injuries happen yet again with the Detroit Lions. Is there something about the intensity of how the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell runs practice? That's 1. And then 2 is on Terry and Arnold. It's a calf strain. Calf strain has become a big issue in the NBA and a bigger issue just in sports, period, because the calf strain sometimes, not always, not typically, but sometimes it leads to the Achilles. So for Terry and Arnold and the calf, what can he do to stay away from that? Because there's time. And then 2, the intensity of these practices, because here we go again. And I'm not putting it on Dan, but I think it's a fair question for the listening audience. Yeah. Is there something that is about the intensity of the practice? Because Dan's a guy, he's intense, and he's a former player, and he's an alpha, and he's from a former era. And his mentors were no nonsense guys, and they practice hard. Are they practicing too hard?
So I talked about this preseason last year.
Yep.
And I went on record saying the level of intensity is going to add up because those are accumulative issues. But I have to go and say I was right because we had crazy injuries. Can you link it directly to the aggressive way we were practicing early? No, there's 2 sides to that, right? So I'm pro Dan Campbell. I'm pro Lions.
Same.
So I'm going to find it in the glass half full that these guys are going to be more intense, more ready coming out of the gate. We don't need game 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 to get ready. This team is ready. So I just had a similar conversation to a 15-year-old cheerleader, right? So we can take the Lions out. Okay. She's got a coach that, 1, has a reputation. I'm going to be good. I'm going to beat everybody up the same way, and I'm going to get the people that can sustain it and be with my team, right? Yeah. So this 15-year-old's got to make a decision. Can you continue to take off? So Arnold, these guys can, I'm not feeling right. I know my body. I need to rest. That's a different situation, and they have to be more aware of it. Is he pushing it too far? We all know he's pushing it hard. Do we know the answer? We've shown over years that the intensity, the rest, the body rest, the recovery is very important for injury prevention. Are we allowing proper body recovery to prevent injury? That's the bigger question I think that needs to be asked and answered, and that's understanding, allowing that athlete, a guy in his first, second year, he's not going to say a thing. Right. That senior, more mature guy, like Laporta, you said he's in his second, third year. He's appreciating it. Mm-hmm. He's on that balance right now that I'm going to be protective of my body. I've already had a couple silly injuries. Yeah. I didn't have my highest performance. I got to be smarter. He's got a lawyer in his ear. He's got an agent in his ear. He's got a business property in his ear.
Personal MD in his ear.
I hate to always roll the money thing in, but Dan Campbell has gotten a way to maintain that old school, rock 'em, sock 'em, I'm going to punch you in the face. Yeah. And his team is buying in. So it's a very unique situation that you've created. Like you said, you've been with Cleveland, you've been with the Jets. The mentality's been different. Campbell is saying, I'm leading you, I'm the warrior, I'm the first guy with my sword in the air, and I'm going to war. These guys are behind him. So this is a unique situation. So I didn't really answer your question. But the intensity is going to just statistically, scientifically, we do all the physiology. it leads to further injuries when the intensity is high.
But if you're not in, that's a really fine line to walk.
Right.
If you're not, it's an intense sport, right? So if you're not practicing hard, if you're not practicing intense, if you're not hitting people, and then comes Sunday and you're not prepared and you get your doors blown off, people are saying, why aren't you practicing harder? When Steve Mariucci was here, it was a little bit of a country club. And they got steamrolled on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you get a guy in here who wants to get after it a little bit, and we're saying, well, it could be too much. What's the fine line there?
It's also the morale of the control he has in that locker room. I can't underrate, and I have to highlight the morale in the locker room. When these guys are willing to fight and go, that little tweak isn't so bad. When you have a bad locker room, that little tweak is an excuse to sit out, right? So I don't want to pick on on Steve, but he didn't have everybody behind him like Dan does. These guys are going to war with him. They'll all say it. I don't think he would have got that response from the players. They would have said it verbally, but their body language would have said something different.
Yeah.
So when you go fine line, these are professional players. We're not talking junior high school. These guys have been through the ringer and should know. Some of the young guys coming out of college with no injuries, anybody coming from college to NFL, it's not a small jump. It's a huge jump. Mm-hmm. And that intensity is what you're doing. This is your job.
That's a concern for Terrion Arnold. I think he's a really important piece.
I'm just super concerned about that calves leading into the Achilles still.
That's a whole nother story.
What can the Lions do to prevent that from being a thing? I know it happens in the NBA more, and this isn't the court. This isn't the NBA, and football players, they train their calves, unlike the NBA.
You're talking about that backward movement, too.
Okay.
With the eccentric forces. You're talking about the Achilles already being a weak link.
Gotcha.
When you're starting, I always said, I haven't talked to Gervin and Dr. J about this, about the step back causing more, and they said, I don't think so, Doc, but I'm sticking to my physiology of the forces. And the same thing when you're backpedaling. You're backpedaling at a different speed. That's usually when those kind of injuries are happening, because you're putting your Achilles that doesn't like that force going backwards. Like I say in basketball, it's easier. It's a step back to get behind the three, and that's where you're having small micro tears, which can lead to that injury.
Well, you got the backpedaling, then the plant to drive forward too, right?
Right.
So
it's an eccentric forces. So you're coming and going. So you're accelerating on a lengthened, already disadvantaged muscle to get it going.
Very educational, and at times a little sad, but it's something we can learn from. Thanks for being here, JP. Always appreciate it, Doc.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about. Are we good?
No, we got the mailbag. We got the mailbag coming up, but go ahead, one more. Yep.
No, I just with the dehydration, just understanding hydration and stuff like that. So, what out today? Like I was out there in the heat today. You got to understand rehydrating is so important. With heat stroke and things like that for the elderly. If you're exercising, if you're out there, the simple thing is 8 ounces for every 20 minutes that you're out there.
8 ounces of water.
8 ounces of water. And then water, it's a 2 to 3 ratio or 3 to 4 ratio, depending on the intensity. You got to put some electrolytes in there. So like a lot of my entertainers are going for 2-hour shows and they're just doing water. They're still feeling lightheaded. So when you're losing weight, you got to replace if you're doing high intensity, it's a 1 to 3. So it's like a Gatorade, a Powerade, without the sugars to the water. If you're lower intensity, it's about a 1 to 4. So just some simple stuff and going from there.
Yeah. Side note, it was tearing out his hamstring, so blame that one on me.
Oh, it was his hamstring.
Yeah, it was his hamstring. But blame that on me. I got excited to talk about the calf today.
Well, what would be more concerning for somebody in that position, the hamstring or the calf?
The calf.
Okay.
The calf, because there's just so much less muscle. Yeah. Hamstring's a big, powerful muscle. You could tear a quarter of it and still be almost as strong, after recovery. But a strain in the hamstring, depending where it is, if it's high up near the butt cheek versus mid-belly versus an attachment down by the knee, makes a big difference. So if it's high up near the buttocks, those are the worst, because the closer to the bone is more involvement and less vascular pooling for healing versus a mid-belly. We like mid-bellies. Yeah. So if it's a mid-belly, we We kind of tape them up and put them out there, put some secret sauce on them, and get them going.
I've played with the mid belly. Literally, I got a mid belly injury when I was with the Seattle Seahawks. They ended up cutting me, and because it was a one, it was a grade 1 hamstring. They released me. Jets picked me back up, and because it was a mid belly, I'm able to secret sauce it. Able to put the tape, put the bandage around the hamstring, and I know what speed and what gear not to go to. Like, that's what the mid belly allows. So let's say I have 4 gears. Like, I know that 3, I bet not be going past 3. And to be honest, if I can get away with 2.75, that's what I would do. I could feel it. But when it's a high hamstring, you can't even get on the field. And when it's a low hamstring, you don't have control of the gears like that.
No takeoffs.
The mid belly, if you're smart, and it happened later in my career, so I was able to understand. Like, all right, you ain't 4-4 today.
Yeah.
you better let that 4.
I like
that,
I
that
snuck
4,
that
5,
4-4 in there.
Well, technically I was 4-3 like draft.
That's a big man moving 4-4.
That's why 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, let's get to the mailbag. JP, stay with us, and we'll get the mailbag going here.
Hey, definitely. You know what? We actually got a $10 super chat from Stephen Baffy.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
He actually has a mailbag for the doc, and I'm sorry if I butchered this name, but he says, can you please explain what a genetic methylation test is, and if it can help identify a need to take methylated supplements for some people?
What is a genetic methylation test, and what does it mean to take methylation supplements for some people?
Yeah.
So basically, it's genetic testing.
Yeah.
Okay. So with genetic testing.
Great job, Kool-Aid.
But I think he's talking about metabolism of genetically metabolizing supplements. Everybody's not created equal. So certain medications will absorb differently and have more pronounced changes to you. I think he was talking about what type of supplement, or just supplements in general.
Supplements in general, I believe, to deal with that.
What's good with most supplements, and understand they're not FDA approved. I like that some are being forced to say they're not FDA approved. These are like magnesium, glycosamine, stuff like that, calcium supplements. What's it going to do? Most of the time, if you're healthy, you're going to pee it out. Like creatine is a big one right now.
Yeah.
Creatine in young people, old school, if you're young, you're okay. If you're getting older, it's working your kidneys harder and can potentially lead to kidney failures and things like that. So everything in moderation is okay at a certain age. Long term, I don't know if we did a shout out to Hulk Hogan and rest in peace, but
we did.
That's the gentleman. We can use I actually want to stay positive with it, but there's a man that did a lot of supplements. In his day, did he prematurely pass away at 71? But that's a guy that kind of did it all. Supplements, can you do genetic testing? If you're someone that just things aren't responding or not making sense, I would highly suggest metabolic genetic testing to see how you're metabolizing. Like for us, we do a lot because, narcotics and opioids and pain meds. I have the little old lady that can take 10 of them, and I got a football player that gets just snowed on one.
Yeah.
What's the difference? There's metabolic testing that will see how you're absorbing and what you respond to. And it's across the board. Like for the people that have parents or someone that's on polypharmacy, those are the people that I would love to have metabolic testing, because a lot of times you're finding out they're not responding well. So there's a lot of topics in that one question. So I don't want to get too crazy with it.
No, that's good. That's really good. If we had more time, I'd ask you more about diet, because I think, especially the people in the chat, there's a lot of it. There's a fumble. Has a lot to do with, what we're eating and when we're eating it. So maybe we can get into that next week.
Yeah. The foods, like when we grew up, the foods were healthier. There's so much processed stuff. When we talk about shelf life,
my God,
when you see something that can stay on the shelf like Spam for like 2 years, that means there's a lot of product in there that may or may not be healthy. So like going to Europe, they eat fresh things every day. There's a major difference to diet.
I'm glad you said that. Legitimately, I know we're up against that. I hate going to restaurants now, Because going to restaurants now, look, you know me, I'm hella in.
You go all farm to table though.
True, but when you don't go to the spots farm to table that are expensive, a bunch of them in this area around the corner, some of them downtown. Like legitimately, I'm just trying to get carrots, Brussels sprouts, and things like that. Why all this honey glaze on my carrots and Brussels sprouts? Why all these extra things that I don't need? Give me Brussels sprouts with some salt and pepper, a little Parmesan, a little vinegar. A little extra vinegar oil. Give me that. Give me some carrots regular. Like, why all the sweetness and to make it taste good? Like, if you knew how to cook, it would taste good. I can't stand these places these days. I got to spend $200 to eat some food that's going to piss me off.
This is why we had the home cooked meal at your house.
Dude, bacon on everything.
Give me that meal. Minus the Brussels sprouts, and they didn't serve it then anyway.
Brussels sprouts.
Bacon on everything, hot honey on everything.
That's why I cooked some asparagus before I came to
bacon.
Throw an avocado in there and feel a little
bacon.
better.
I'm not worried about. Bacon, I'm not worried about.
Everything's really good with bacon on. Doc, good to see you as always. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure you follow us on socials. We'll be back tomorrow. This is the Braylon Edwards Show, Monday through Friday, 2 until 4. Ricky, Kool-Aid, great stuff as always. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow on Friday.
Rest in peace, Hope.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.